In the 13th century, the Mongol Empire exploded across Eurasia. From the steppes, their armies swept westward, conquering vast territories with unprecedented speed and ferocity. City after city fell before their might. Their reputation preceded them, often causing surrender before a battle was even fought. By the 1250s, the Mongol gaze turned towards the heartlands of the Middle East. It seemed no power could stand against them. Under the command of Hulagu Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, the Mongol forces advanced into Persia and Mesopotamia. In 1258, they reached Baghdad, the illustrious capital of the Abbasid Caliphate. The city was besieged and utterly destroyed. The fall of Baghdad marked the end of a golden age and sent shockwaves throughout the Islamic world. The path to Syria and Egypt lay open. The Mongol juggernaut rolled on, seemingly invincible. In Egypt, a new power had recently consolidated control, the Mamluk Sultanate. The Mamluks were unique rulers. They were originally slave soldiers, primarily of Turkic and Circassian origin, who had been trained and indoctrinated into military service. Over generations, these slave soldiers rose through the ranks, eventually overthrowing their Ayyubid masters in 1250. They established a military regime based on merit and loyalty, creating a formidable fighting force. Their society was structured around military discipline and readiness. As the Mongols advanced through Syria, capturing cities like Aleppo and Damascus, the Mamluks in Egypt knew their turn was coming. Hulagu Khan sent envoys to Cairo, demanding the Mamluks' submission. His message was clear and threatening, recounting the fate of those who resisted. This is one account of the letter the Mongols sent to Cairo. From the King of Kings of the East and West, Bagrat Khan, to Qutuz the Mamluk, who fled to escape our swords. You should think of what happened to other countries and submit to us. You have heard how we have conquered a vast empire and have purified the earth of the disorders that tainted it. We have conquered vast areas, massacring all the people. You cannot escape from the terror of our armies. Where can you flee? What road will you use to escape us? Our horses are swift, our arrows sharp, our swords like thunderbolts, our hearts as hard as the mountains, our soldiers as numerous as the sand. Fortresses will not detain us, nor armies stop us. Your prayers to God will not avail against us. We are not moved by tears nor touched by lamentations. Only those who beg our protection will be safe. Hasten your reply before the fire of war is kindled. Resist and you will suffer the most terrible catastrophes. We will shatter your mosques and reveal the weakness of your God, and then we will kill your children and your old men together. At present, you are the only enemy against whom we have to march. The Sultan faced an existential crisis. Submission meant slavery and destruction. Resistance meant confronting the most feared army on earth. The Mamluk leadership debated their course of action. Sultan Qutuz, supported by key commanders like Baibars, chose defiance. They understood that waiting for the Mongols to invade Egypt would be disastrous. The best chance lay in meeting the enemy outside their borders, in the Levant. Qutuz took a bold and risky step. He had the Mongol envoys executed, a clear signal of his refusal to submit. This act committed the Mamluks to war. They began preparing their army for a decisive confrontation. The Mamluk army, led by Qutuz and Baibars, marched north through the Sinai Peninsula into Palestine. Their goal was to intercept the Mongol forces before they could consolidate their control over Syria and invade Egypt. They needed to choose their battlefield carefully. Hulagu Khan, however, had withdrawn a large portion of his army to Persia due to succession issues in the wider Mongol Empire. He left a relatively smaller force, perhaps 10,000 to 20,000 strong, under the command of his trusted general Kitbuka. This was a crucial factor, though the Mamluks likely did not know the exact size of the remaining Mongol force. The two armies converged in September 1260 at a place called Ain Jalut, meaning the Spring of Goliath, in the Jezreel Valley. The terrain featured hills and valleys, offering opportunities for ambush and maneuver. The Mamluks arrived first and used the landscape to their advantage. Qutuz deployed his forces strategically. He hid the main body of his army behind the hills, sending a smaller vanguard, led by Baibars, forward to engage the Mongols directly. This was a classic tactic designed to lure the enemy into a trap. On September 3, 1260, the battle began. Baibar's vanguard engaged the Mongol army. As expected, the Mongols, confident in their superiority, charged forward, aiming to envelop and destroy the smaller Mamluk force. Baibars executed a feigned retreat, drawing the Mongols deeper into the valley. The Mongol cavalry pursued, stretching their lines and moving into the area where the main Mamluk army was concealed. This was the critical moment the Mamluks had planned for. The trap was sprung. As the Mongols pressed forward, the main Mamluk force, including heavy cavalry, emerged from behind the hills. They attacked the Mongol flanks and rear, catching Kitbuka's army by surprise. The battle became a chaotic, brutal struggle at close quarters. Despite being outnumbered, the Mongols fought fiercely. At one point, the Mamluk left flank was pushed back, and the army seemed close to breaking. Sultan Qutuz himself reportedly rode into the thick of the fighting, rallying his troops with cries of "O Islam." His personal courage inspired the Mamluks to hold their ground. The Mamluk counterattack, combined with the successful ambush and the Mamluks' disciplined heavy cavalry, proved decisive. The Mongol lines fractured. Kitbuka fought bravely but was captured and executed. Without their commander and facing relentless pressure, the remaining Mongol forces broke and fled. The Mamluks pursued the retreating Mongols aggressively, preventing them from regrouping. The victory was complete. The Mongol army in the Levant was annihilated. The Battle of Ain Jalut was a monumental event. It was the first time a Mongol army had been decisively defeated in open battle by a non-Mongol force. For the first time in decades, the myth of Mongol invincibility was shattered. The victory saved Egypt, the last major Islamic power center, from conquest, and it halted the westward expansion of the Mongol Empire into North Africa. The Mamluks became the undisputed protectors of the Islamic heartlands. Following the battle, Sultan Qutuz was assassinated and Baibars ascended to the throne. Baibars would go on to become one of the most famous Mamluk sultans, consolidating their power and continuing the fight against both the remaining Crusaders and the Mongols. Ain Jalut secured the Mamluk Sultanate's place in history. They would rule Egypt and Syria for over 250 years, maintaining their unique military system and successfully defending their realm against future threats, including further Mongol incursions. The battle remains a testament to strategic planning, disciplined fighting, and the courage to face an overwhelming foe.